Hello, my name is Stefan and I work at the Loadcoder project. In this video I will be talking about some of the new features released in version 2.0 that just came out. For a complete list of the new features, please check out the project Polarbear at GitHub. Up until now, Loadcoder has just covered the very essential parts of what a load testing tool should have. But in version 2.0 we have raised the bar, and Loadcoder now gives the user a better way of designing the performance tests. This will help you as a performance tester in various forms and levels during software development. The iteration throttle has been introduced so that the load intensity can be limited, not only by the original transaction throttle, but now also at the iteration level. If you set the throttle iterations to 1 per second in shared mode, only 1 iteration per second will be executed. The use case for this is when you want to simulate a certain scenario that just happens occasionally and not as soon as the previous one has finished. An example is when a user of a system you're testing completes some kind of task and then wants to submit it. This submit action will invoke a series of other automated actions that you want to load test. If you're just using the transaction throttle, the load distribution would look something like this. If you instead use the iteration throttle, the transactions will be done in bursts, which in this case will give you a more production-like load level. Another new feature is that the load scenario now can be typed using the new class load scenario typed. If you want to load test a REST service where each thread needs its unique client instance, these instances both need to be created as well as related with the correct load thread. Instead of you needing to manage this by yourself, Loadcoder now gives a built-in way of doing this. Everything you need to keep specific to each thread can be managed using this technique, such as client instances, test data, security entities, test logic, etc. This is where you implement your thread-specific stuff and return an instance of the type that you stated in the scenario declaration. The returned instance will be paired up with the specific thread and then provided to the load scenario method for each iteration. This is also the recommended way of storing states between iterations. In order to have a good code design of your load tests, Loadcoder 2 comes with a guideline of how to structure your code in different cases. When building more extensive scenarios that tests different parts of your system, you probably don't want to state all the test logic directly inside the load scenario method. A better way is to organize your test logic inside other classes and methods that in their turn performs the transactions. Even though this has always been possible in Loadcoder tests, most tests are ending up in implementations where you need to send your scenario and type instances parameters everywhere in the code. Not any longer. By extending 2 very simple superclasses, this will help you to get a good design of your test code. Loadcoder is expanding, and we're right now looking for good programmers to get involved in the project. Visit loadcoder.com for more information.